day 34 of my extended 20-day water fast. All right, let's just start with the numbers, shall we? Strangely enough, when I weighed myself, I was the identical weight from the morning before, so that was interesting. Like, it literally was, yesterday was 168.2, and then it's 168.2 again. So go figure. I guess it's such a massive weight drop. I had to kind of like stabilize for a day, I guess. I had about 3 liters of water. Went, I think I only went maybe 5 times bathroom. Water pH 9.19, TDS 97, EC 194. Let's see. What time did I wake up? Yeah, I think it was like 8 a.m. My cat is getting all crazy. It was around 8 a.m. Got up. Man, I totally forgot what time I went to sleep. Kind of dozed off. I'm not sure when I dozed off exactly. It's probably around 1 a.m., something like that. The night before. Let's see. What else? One thing that's interesting. I mean, I ended up working all day. Again, it's the same job, working the murals thing. So I had several more of those to do, and it was interesting in that up until now, it was like my energy level, I was starting to feel, and in the past few videos, like I'm starting to notice, I'm like, okay, it feels like my energy's kind of started waning, going down. And like something odd happened. I started noticing that, that I think I got a little bit better sleep the night before. And then I just started having, my energy levels seemed to start ramping up. And then I found myself getting engaged, in some really, very impassioned kind of conversations, and just like, listening to things and getting more and more excited and like getting more energy. And, and it's like, I remember at one point, I was like having to go back and forth across the street, carrying some stuff. And like, up until recently, I was noticeably walking at a slower pace. And then all of a sudden I'm noticing myself walking at like a faster than my non-fasted walking pace. And it was just like, so something shifted. I'm not sure what's shifted, but definitely the energy level suddenly, like, instead of it just continuing this like kind of sluggish, it's starting to feel like it's kind of going down. It just suddenly just did an upswing, and so and then it was pretty much like that all day, which was like, okay, just when I thought the energy reserves were just kind of, it's like waning, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope. So that was definitely, not expected at all. So I'm just like, all right, that's awesome. So that's kind of, and then that pretty much was most of the day was like that, into the evening. And, finally kind of was like, oh, okay, now I'm time to wind down, that kind of thing. And then, that was it. That was the biggest thing that really stood out, the energy change. energy level changed. That was totally unexpected. You know, that sudden boost. You know, that was definitely out of left field for me. You know, and it just gave me that much more confidence that I you know, I'm now feeling like, oh yeah, okay, now I definitely got this, you know. Now with this extra little boost, I definitely got this to you know, to 40 days for sure. And so, and same thing, you know, had mostly the water, you know, had a little bit of just tea, things like that, you know, just to kind of break the monotony a little bit, you know, just kind of feel soothing and stuff like that, you know. Progress is good. I mean, the other you know, again, I'm just noticing again, like as I feel my body, you know, I feel that it's definitely, you know, things definitely seem to be pulling in more, you know, getting a little flatter, you know, a little smaller, a little tighter, you know. So yeah, so I'm getting, I'm so looking really motivated. Yeah, feeling really motivated to, you know, it's like, man, just keep pushing through. I mean, the plan is to stop at 40, you know, but I don't know. I'm a little so curious at this stage because I'm like, I haven't experienced any true hunger yet. You know, it hasn't kicked in. And I have been reading. I started rereading that book, the Fasting and Eating for Your Health, by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. So you know, that's a great book. So highly recommend that book. I mean, the only thing that it's going to be a little different, the application of it is a little different for me, is that, you know, that book was originally written, you know, many years ago. And I think there's just been, you know, some new findings when it comes to the nutrition side of things. And so, like, even though Dr. Joel Fuhrman's diet plan is definitely way more effective than traditional Western diet, after reading The Plant Paradox, you know, there's plenty of things that seem to be quote unquote healthy, but in reality are slowly poisoning us, you know, the different types of, you know, fruits and vegetables that, you know, are just automatically deemed as, like, you know, pure, and it's pure nature, you know, it's just abundance and nutrients, and in reality is, you know, full of these plant derived toxins, designed to mess up your insides and to fuck with your proteins and stuff. So, you know, so after learning all that, I'm like, okay, you know, like, I'm going to take the part that I want, like, and leave the rest behind, you know. So, like, in that book, you know, I primarily read it for the fasting guidelines and the fasting acquired knowledge, because I think by far, yeah, Dr. Joel Fuhrman has far more experience and insight about all the different things about fasting than anyone else, because he's been he experienced fasting before he even went to medical school. So he already had fasting on his mind. Like, he already experienced the healing power of fasting and how fasting is actually the most effective thing, you know. And then he went to medical school. So that really colored his vision, colored his way of his perspective in a way that I highly doubt any other person ever went to medical school ever has, you know, at least in modern times. You know, because they go in assuming that everything they're learning in medical school is valid and correct. Meanwhile, he comes in with this, like, deep, intimate, personal knowledge from his own healing episode where he actually got badly injured and he used fasting to totally heal himself. You know, when regular medicine was saying the only option you have is some, like, invasive surgery, he ended up using fasting and completely avoided the surgery altogether, and, turned out better than before, you know. So it was just like, he's like, You know, something's not adding up. Like, why aren't they talking about this more? You know, and so he brought that curiosity and wonder and personal experience into medical school and started noticing where the holes were in the things. You know, took what was valid, but then started constantly questioning, you know, what he saw that directly conflicted with his own personal experience. You know, especially the whole model of treating the symptoms with prescription drugs. He's just like, why would you put these prescription drugs? You just have them fast, and then they will solve. And you're solving you know, you're dealing your hand, you know, you're going straight to the source of the problem and letting the body restore health on its own by removing obstructions. You don't need any pills. Like, why are they teaching it like this? Like, this doesn't make any sense, you know? And then, you know, stuff like that. So it's really interesting, you know. So I see that, you know, he was the only one that actually had that really unique perspective going into a medical school, and, you know, and he still got his MD and all that stuff, but, you know, I'm pretty sure he's like unlike any other doctor that went through there that, you know, questioned a lot of stuff, you know. So I really value that a lot, you know. So, yeah. Yes. Mr. Mocha, he's talkative tonight. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. That's it for now. Yeah, so, well, 34. Yeah, 34. All right, so, man, it's like so many days now. So I'm like losing track here. It's just like, man, it's already 34 days. Jeez. All right. Well, and that's that. And, you know, till the next day.